Here is just a little behind the scenes. I want to show you the car that I've spent months with in 2022. There it is, Citroen 2CV. We've been filming the Antiques road trip for a very long time, stopping and starting. So I've really fallen in love with this little car. And I'm going to introduce you to the owner, Richard, who we've got to know pretty well on the road because Richard follows us around whenever we're driving in this car. In case anything goes wrong, Richard is the man. He's the owner. He knows this thing inside out. So here's Richard. He's going to tell you a little bit about this fascinating little French beauty. We've been on the road now, Richard, for almost 6 months off and on, haven't we?
Yeah, quite a lot of off.
It's been a lot of off.
Yeah.
So this is your car.
Yes, indeed.
Tell us about it. When did you buy it?
Oh, crumbs. This one, I bought it at a time when I had 3 2CVs and 1 Diane. And the person who was selling this one was up in Sidcup in South London, and had been sitting outside their house since 1991. And it was a bit of a pickle. The chassis had collapsed, and it really was more of a tree than a 2CV. Put it on a trailer, brought it back. Grudgingly, I didn't want a fourth one. I thought 3 was probably enough. But it actually only had an original 18,000 miles on it from new, which undoubtedly was true.
Right, let's see what you're up to here then. Tell us what you're doing.
I'm just rigging the GoPros in the car, so just making sure we've got good shots for the driver, passenger, and then wide shot there.
Very good, you do it. Is that me on there? Is that
it
me?
is.
Oh, look at me. Oh, there's
Good
me.
reception.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's all very high tech, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like driver, passenger.
Yeah. We've felt it.
Obviously put a new chassis in it, and replaced everything that had to be replaced. Most of it is actually still original.
Did you do it all yourself?
I run a garage.
Oh, you do, don't
Yeah.
you? Okay,
Yeah.
tell me where the garage is. Remind me.
It's in Whitstable, so we sort of do a bit of classic, quite a lot of classic style.
Go on,
car
give
stuff.
yourself a plug, Richard.
Oh, well, we're called Active In. That's a silly name, but
I'll put a link in the video description for you because
Okay.
it's very good. So, but you love these things, don't you?
I've come to love them. Yes, I realised I loved them when I bought the first Diane, which was definitely a mistake. But
Why? Why would you say that?
Because they're so hideous. I mean,
Right.
they really are. Whereas these are not quite so bad, in aesthetically pleasing. But the Diane, really, there's nothing to commend it at all. But other than the fact, it's better appointed. It's got a better hatchback arrangement. It's got a bit more power. It's better laid out instruments. Other than being generally better in every respect, it's nowhere near as good.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is a late version of it.
Yeah, this is the one that
What
followed.
year is it?
88, 89, 88, I think.
Yeah,
it
on
is.
an E-Plate.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes very well, and I've come to love this car because we've spent so much time with it, and it has never missed a beat, has it?
No, it's very good. It's been really well behaved right throughout. But to be fair, going back to the brief story of putting it back together, we had the engine running probably in about 4 hours from 1991 to whatever year it was, 2018. It hadn't turned, and it literally we powered up with a battery, new fuel, etc.,
And that was it.
Yeah, back on the road again, and nothing's been done since.
But these things are very much bolt-on, bolt-off parts, aren't they? You can buy parts, bolt them on, and remove doors and replace them. It's
Everything
quite easy.
is obviously built for the French farmers back many years ago, and everything had to be simple. But the trouble is nowadays everything is so complicated. People overthink them and will therefore break things and do things wrongly because they're too simple. Some of the things, kingpins, are not fun.
What about maintenance costs? Are they particularly cheap to run these things?
I find them incredibly reasonable. Parts are still reasonably good, and so I mean a complete roof assembly with a rear window is probably only about 200, 225, which you get an awful lot for your bang for your buck there. So.
Any top tips, Richard, on anybody looking to invest, shall we say?
I invest,
it's a good investment, isn't it?
No, their prices have gone mental.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. They've become a very sought after car. It's always going to be rust, and Other than that, you've just got to accept they leak and they
Yeah.
rattle and make a lot of squeaking noises.
Listen, that's part of their charm, isn't it? Are they good everyday users?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No question about it. Yeah, I mean, they do just about keep up with the traffic, as long as you're in a 20-mile-an-hour limit. No, they do. They nip along. They'll do 70 miles an hour on the flat, which keeps up with the motorway traffic just about. A fantastic suspension system, as you know yourself.
Yeah, I do know. And what about miles to the gallon?
50 odd.
It's very good going, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very good going.
Technically, it's a microcar.
Yeah.
So it's only 602cc, so technically it's a microcar.
It's a good
Even-
city car, actually, isn't it?
It's a fantastic city car, and it's also huge, bearing in mind the tiny capacity.
Yeah, they're like little TARDISs, these
They've
things,
managed
aren't
to
they?
squeeze every inch of useful space into there.
Well, Richard, you're a big fan, and it's great to have you on board, because even though the car has been completely dependable and totally reliable, it's always good to know you're there in case anything does go wrong. So thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
It's been great
Cheers.
working with you.
You too. Take care.